Previous Taoiseach of this country used a word to describe Bertie Ahern, and it jumps out of your book, I have to say, vividly, which was the word cunning. You said he was cunning, and you also qualified by saying, and I mean that in a good way, as only you could. Why use that word in any way?
Because sometimes you've got to be smart to get around these problems.
Yes.
I mean, they require creativity, they require imagination, and they require an ability to get to where you need to get to.
By cunning?
Yeah, and that's cunning in the best sense of the word.
Yeah.
And, you know, it was really hard because you were having conversations with people, particularly when you sat down with the Sinn Féin people and the Unionists. These are people who had a bitter, entrenched hatred.
Yes.
So you required a bit of cunning to get through that.
Ian Paisley.
I'm about to alienate everyone here, but I actually got to like him.
But he became more likeable as he got older, as you know.
Yeah, and look, it's a funny thing. I speak as I find, which is probably the best way to do it. And
well, let's go back to the beginning. You said you got to like him. Obviously, it wasn't all good at the beginning.
No, it was
Why not?
Very difficult at the beginning because he was very much in the no camp.
So you face him in a room and he's going, no, no, never, never, never. And
yeah.
How do you feel as Prime Minister dealing with that negativity?
I think, how do I overcome it?
Yeah.
Because there's no point in getting upset by it because it's a fact and you can see that. And there were plenty of naysayers on the other side too. But as time went on, we established a kind of relationship.
Yeah.
And I think in the end he wanted to, he wanted to do what was right for his people. I mean, and did. And the fact,
did old age help that?
I don't know.
A sense of mortality, if you like.
I think, yes, I think there's a certain mellowing that can happen. And, when I sat actually, when we finally got the whole thing together, literally weeks before I left office in 2007, and there was Martin McGuinness sitting with Ian Paisley. Yeah. And it was just such a strange, to anyone brought up in the politics of this whole thing, it was such a strange and extraordinary sight. And, it was one of the few times in politics I felt really proud, actually.
Gerry Adams.
Tough, clever, but he needed to be both of those things to lead his party from where it was to where
Difficult
it wanted
man?
it. Everyone was difficult in that situation.
Likeable man?
I grew to like him. I know that makes me strongly criticise in parts of the North, but, I worked with Gerry Adams and Martin McGuinness really closely.
Do you remember when Martin McGuinness and Gerry Adams and Mo Mowlam and yourself were sitting in that room in Downing Street?
No, I remember they came into the Downing Street room and it was, they were talking rather eloquently about the history and Michael Collins and sitting in this room and everything. And then Mo, who is, of course, absolutely, iconoclastic and would say whatever she wanted to say at any point in time. She said, I know, isn't it nice? And that's the window that you fired the mortar in at John Major. And right. There's a thanks, Mo. We'll get that in just a little moment.